Well, good morning, everyone. It is always a very special pleasure to welcome back to the Media Center our five-time Green Jacket winner, Mr. Tiger Woods. Tiger, thank you for being with us today. Thanks for spending a few minutes. It's been 5 years ago, hard to believe, that you won your fifth Green Jacket. You started Thursday, if you remember, that first round, outside the top 10.
Correct.
And went on to win in dramatic fashion. It is rare for a player outside the top 10 after Thursday to win. You did it in 2019. Right. In the last 20 years, it's still only been done one other time. That was 2005, and that was you.
Right.
What a testament.
So you're trying to tell me I need to start outside the top 10.
What a testament to your indomitable will over your career and your ability to make changes and adaptations to your practice, to your therapy, according to your body needs. Mm-hmm. And you executed that to perfection in 2019. In 2021, there was that horrific accident that did serious damage to your leg. Could you share with us what adaptations to your healing, your rehab, your practice, your preparations that you have done that put you in the best position to win your sixth Green Jacket?
Well, I have an amazing medical staff that has really helped me get through this. Kobe has really been there through thick and thin to help me get into this position, and it's a daily adaptation. We work at it each and every day, whether it's trying to loosen me up or strengthen me, or it's just recovery. My practice sessions certainly aren't what they used to be. I used to live on the range or live on a short game facility and just be out there all day. That's no longer the case. And so I just have to be more focused on when I do get a chance to go out there and practice and really grind out and make every shot count, because I just really don't have the ball count in me anymore. So those adaptations have, hopefully I've made them for this week. I've got a chance to go out there on Sunday, take a look at the front nine. I played yesterday with Will on the back nine, and came out today and played the front nine again with JT and Fred. So this golf course is, when we came up here last weekend, it was in perfect shape, and it's only gotten better, which is hard to believe, but it has, and hopefully we will get the weather cooperate a little bit with us come Thursday.
Taylor, let's open the questions with Taylor. And if you would, please lean into the microphone to state your question. Taylor?
Tiger, given those physical challenges that you just described,
yes,
why is it so important for you to keep playing in this tournament?
Well, this tournament has meant so much to me in my life and my family. I think I've been playing here for 29 years now, and it has... It was the ultimate to be able to stay in the crow's nest and to watch Byron and Sam and Gene tee off on the first hole. And it's been a part of my life to have won here as my first major as a pro, hugging my dad, as you saw, and then full circle in 19 to hug my son. It has meant a lot to my family. It's meant a lot to me, and I always want to keep playing in this. And today we got a chance to play with Fred, and Fred's been here, a very long time. And we're joking that, he's the oldest person ever to make a cut, and I think he can do it again this year. So it's great. I mean, that's the neat thing about this golf course, and it's the only major we play on the same site, the same venue, each and every year, and we get to tell stories and catch up with friends, and for me, get a chance to catch up with idols and the people that I've looked up to my entire life.
Zach Klein, please.
Hey, Tiger, what a record 24 straight cuts means to you at this event, considering all the major accomplishments.
Yeah, I think it's consistency, it's longevity, and it's a understanding of how to play this golf course. That's one of the reasons why you see players that are in their 50s and 60s make cuts here, or it's players in their late 40s have runs at winning the event. It's just an understanding of how to play it. Now, you still have to go out and execute it, but there's a lot of knowledge that goes into understanding how to play it. And granted, every tee box has been changed since the first time I played. Every green has been changed. But the overall configuration of how they roll and how they move and the angles you take, that hasn't changed. That's a neat thing about this. I can still go into the mental Rolodex and bring out a few putts from the 90s that still move generally in that direction, and the effect that Race Creek has on certain shots and putts, and it means a lot.
Jeff Shackelford.
Tiger, two things. What have you seen the golf course and some of the changes since last year? And is there any particular lie with the severity of some of the tilts in the ground here, either uphill or downhill, that's tricky for you with your ankle?
Let's see. Two's been lengthened a little bit. I think it's 313 or 311 from the plate to the bunker. Four's been resurfaced. It's some of the putts, they've widened the top right of it. The bottom, so the back left is a little bit steeper. Some of the putts from the bottom move a little bit differently. And 6 is a little bit different too, with the addition of a little bit more room on the top right and the elevation of the back of the green. So that little chip shot we had is a little bit different now over the back part of the green. And because there's more room on that shelf, it doesn't feel like that you're crowded with 2 people on top of that shelf. There's a little bit more room now. As far as my physicality on certain shots, every shot that's not on the tee box is a challenge. So, yeah, once we start the hole, it's a bit of a challenge.
Doug Ferguson.
Like you said last year, your hope, your ambition was to try and play once a month, but that's it.
Some limitations. I'm just curious, what specifically determines whether you play? What kept you from, since playing from Riv?
Well, I wasn't ready to play. My body wasn't ready, my game wasn't ready, and I thought that, when I was at Hero, once a month would be a really nice rhythm. Hasn't worked out that way, but now we have major championships every month, from here through July, so now the once a month hopefully kicks in.
Bob Herrig.
Tiger, just want to follow up on that. Was there any physical issues that kept you from preparing the way you would have wanted to in the past, a month ago to play in Florida? And where are you in that regard right now?
The body's just, the things that just flare up. And again, the training that we have to do at home, it changes from a day-to-day basis. Some days I just feel really good, and other days not so much.
Next will be Mr. Jaquez Patterson.
Tiger, with everything that you go through in your career right now, what makes you get up and go through all the preparation and all the, the things you have to go through to get ready to play top-level major golf?
I love golf. I do. I've always loved it. I played other sports growing up, but I just have always loved this sport, and I love to compete and be able to have the love I have for the game and the love for competition be intertwined. I think that's one of the reasons why I've had a successful career. I just love doing the work. I love logging the time in, and I love preparing, I love competing, and I love that feeling when everything's on fire with a chance to win, and you either do or you don't.
Jimmy Roberts.
Hi, Tiger. You talked a bunch about your local knowledge, and it's obviously considerable after all these years. Is there any way to quantify how many strokes around that might be worth to you on an average round?
I don't know if it's quantifiable, but I can tell you that understanding where to miss it is. I mean, granted, you're going to get some weird wind pop up and hit spots, but understanding of where to miss it, how to miss it, and the shot shape to put it there. I don't know what the exact number would be, but it is helpful, and that's one of the reasons why it's always helpful to play with players that have had success here and players that have, played the test of time, especially the past champions.
Kevin?
Right here, sorry. Oh, sorry, down here.
Yep.
I think last year you talked a little bit about bringing your son here and sharing memories and stuff with him. How often do you bring him here to play, and how often does he ask to come?
We haven't played in a couple of years now. I came up here last weekend. He wanted to be at home, so I came up here and came up here, got a chance to play with the chairman and Rob and JT, and we had just an absolute blast. I would like to obviously play a little bit more up here with him and to share the experiences. Especially now that he's got a little bit longer, so he hits it past me. So I think that the days of playing for the members' tees are over. He's got to come back there with us.
Don Riddell?
Tiger, when you think of everywhere you've been, everything you've achieved and the life you've had, what does the game of golf mean to you?
Well, it's been my life. I started playing at 9 months, so I've done it pretty much my entire life, and played my first tournament when I was 5, and have been playing tournament golf and playing golf around the world, not just here in the United States, but around the world. It's allowed me to see places that I don't think that I'd ever have gotten a chance to see. People that I've got a chance to meet all around the world. And the generational connectivity with the sport, right? And so, as I said, with watching Sam and Gene and Byron tee off, to 2 years later, to watch them drinking my milkshakes, to play practice round with Fred and Raymond and Sevi, over the years. I mean, those are, and Jack and Arnold, those are memories that I'll have for a lifetime, and it's all because of the sport.
Ann?
Hi, Tiger. Can you talk about what it means to you to mentor younger players? We know what it means to them, but how about any kind of joy that you might get doing that?
I love watching them succeed. That's part of the game. Is we pass on the knowledge. We don't keep it. All the players that have come before me, I really didn't discover anything new. Is the fact that they were able to share a lot of that with me. And then, that's what we do. We pass on the knowledge to the next generation. And especially here, that's one of the events that we get a chance to do that just because we're playing on the same venue, each and every year. We're able to pass that on. And I think the Masters does an incredible job of bringing together the past and the future of the game of golf.
Mr. Murray?
Tiger,
Yep.
what's your current position regarding the Ryder Cup captaincy?
Sorry, say it again.
Your current position regarding the Ryder Cup captaincy at Bethpage?
Okay.
What is it?
We're still talking about it.
Is it linked to how much you're going to play golf?
No, it's something that Seth and I are going to sit back and talk about it after this event. I said I'm going to be busy for a couple weeks, so let me focus on getting through this week and hopefully getting another jacket, and then we can sit back and talk about it next week.
Mary Kate?
Hey, Tiger. Just curious, over here.
Where am I looking?
Over here. To the right.
Right. Yes, got it. Sorry.
No, you're good. Can you describe the feeling you get when you return to this property and get to put on your green jacket?
It's special to come down Magnolia Lane. The first time I got a chance to see it, I came in the middle of the night. We played a Stanford Georgia Tech event. So I came in the middle of the night, and I didn't get a chance to see Magnolia Lane for my first time, right? So got a chance to stay in the Crow's Nest, and the next day got a chance to see the golf course and what this amazing property is, and the fact that I'm able to put on a green jacket for the rest of my life is just absolutely amazing. And I'm just an honorary member, but I love it.
J.R. Berry?
Tiger, I want to talk about Vern Lundquist. He is retiring from the Masters after this year, his iconic call in 16 years ago. I'm sure you hear a lot about it. Could you talk about that for a moment and what Vern has meant to Augusta National?
Yeah, I've heard that call a couple times. Yeah, I mean, he has just an amazing ability to bring in the audience and describe a situation and just be able to narrate it in a way that is poetic, but it's also, he describes it with emotionality, and he just draws the audience in. And it's amazing. What is this, I think his 40th year, maybe, I think it is now, 39th, 40th year, to be able to call the Masters. I mean, that's what I grew up watching. I grew up listening to Vern, and he made a nice call there at 16. And it's one that I've been lucky enough that, you know, I will have that memory with Vern for the rest of my life.
Stephen Watson.
Yes.
As someone who knows what it's like to win a career Grand Slam or slams, as Rory McIlroy tries to achieve that feat again this year, can you explain how difficult it is to win a slam, and do you think he will do it at some stage?
No question he'll do it at some point. Rory's too talented, too good, and he's going to be playing this event for a very long time, and he'll get it done. It's just a matter of when. But yes, I think that Rory will be a great Masters champion one day, and it could be this week. You never know. I just think that just again the talent that he has, the way he plays the game, and the way the golf course fits his eye, it's just a matter of time.
Next is Mr. Vishwanathan. To you.
Tiger, sorry. Tiger, you keep talking. We all know that your body's taken a lot. Is there anything about the ankle which is like still that is unknown to us? I'm sure there's a lot unknown, but something that you're trying to repair to make sure that you continue to play the game that you love and given so much to.
Well, the ankle doesn't hurt anymore. It's fused. It's not going anywhere. So that's fine. It's other parts of my body that now have to take the brunt of it. So, yeah, once you put the rods in there, it's good to go. But you know, the back, the knee, and other parts of the body have to take the load of it, and just the endurance capability of walking a long time and being on my feet for a long time.
Scott Michaud.
Tiger, you've talked a lot about some memories already today, but what do you feel like you're capable of doing this week? What do you believe that you can do this week?
If everything comes together, I think I can get one more. Want me to describe that any more than that, or we're good?
Barry?
Tiger, you mentioned knowing all the shots here, but that means you also know the difficulty of the walk. I wonder if it's the most difficult walk there is on tour, and what is the impact on your body of 4 days of that, potentially?
It's certainly one of the more hillier walks that we have on tour. You just don't realize it, and where the clubhouse is perched to the bottom of 12 green, we're playing on a hillside, and we're just meandering back and forth across that hillside. So yeah, it is a long walk. I think I've done just over 6.5 miles here. But I think that it's more than anything, it's the shaping of shots. These are things that I can't simulate in Florida. We're pretty flat. So I try the best I can on certain hillsides back at home to kind of hit shots, but when you just got to come out here and do it. And then on top of that, playing on bent and the movement of these greens, that is something that, because I haven't played a whole lot on tour, I don't really get a chance to see that very often. I'm home in Bermuda all the time, and so that's another factor into this week.
Mark Cannizzaro.
Hey, Tiger.
Hey, Mark.
I'm just curious, you've spoken about, obviously, your reverence for Augusta National and whatnot here, and Jack back in the day would always talk about he would resist to be a ceremonial golfer, and I just wonder for yourself, as these physical stuff is mounted and the challenges have come, where are you in that thought of where your kind of golfing competition mortality is, if you will, for this place? And have you thought about being one of those starters down the line on the
No.
Thursday morning and that kind of thing?
No.
Maybe not that far,
No,
but
I
just
have
as,
not.
you know.
I have not thought about being a starter here. No.
But I mean, in a more immediate sense, in terms of playing when you maybe don't think that all things can come together and you can win as you do right now.
Well, Mark, I still think they can. So I don't know when that day is, when that day comes, but I still think that I can. I haven't got to that point where I don't think I can't.
Alan, next, sir.
Hey, Tiger. Curious, under ideal tournament conditions, do you think a 59 is attainable on this golf course?
If we played the old yardage and the old tee boxes, I would say yes. Not at 7,600, and the ability for this golf course to get longer than it plays. I mean, when I first played here, the fairways were more cut down grain. Now they're into the grain. The overseat has gotten thicker. The golf course just plays stickier in a sense. I know they've sand capped all the fairways, but the rollouts is not what it used to be. So you just can't sneak down there. And when I was telling, I mean, JT's heard this a bunch of times, and we're talking about it. And I was talking to Mr. Chairman when we were playing. When I played here in '95, my clubs here, it was raining. I had a 60-degree sandwich in a 1, I had 8-iron in the 2. I drove in a crosswalk on 5. I had 5-iron in the 8. I drove in a crosswalk on 9. I drove in a crosswalk on 17. So there was a lot of 6-degree sandwiches. I had a pitching wedge in the 15. That doesn't exist now. So I don't think that's a reality anymore, just the fact that we're so far back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for 2 more questions, and I want to address the gentleman in the back row at the end. I can't quite see. Yes, sir, in the gray. Or the navy. There was 2 hands that were right up. Yes, sir.
I'll go, Tiger. Can I just ask again about your physicality, the pain you're under? Is it a constant when you're out there on the course? Is it worse here? And are you playing with painkillers?
I hurt every day.
Yeah.
So yes, I ache. No, I ache every day, and I prefer it warm and humid and hot. And I know we're going to get some thunderstorms, so at least it'll be hot. It won't be like last year.
Last question, please, Michael.
Thank you, Rob. Tiger, right here, please. You know, the USGA and the RNA are trying to make golf simpler. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in joining a growing movement to make the OB rule just stroke, not stroke and distance. Just drop it where it went out.
Say that again? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Okay.
Question.
Trying to make golf simpler.
Okay.
And how about a rule change by which, for going OB, you can just drop it where it went out instead of having to reload? Would you be in favor of such a rule change?
Well, I think there's a number of rule changes that would have to come before that one. That would speed up the game. That would make it better.
What's your favorite thing?
I don't know, but I think there's a number of items that are on the list before that one. You got it.
Oh, Tiger, thank you so very much. Thank you,
Thanks for having
ladies
me.
and gentlemen. And Tiger, we wish you obviously the very best of luck this year.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you. Appreciate it.